Alrighty, y'all, I'm back. So I was inspired today to shoot a video on grip strength. The reason being is that just yesterday I went to the lagoon with my family, and then they have that, those little contests you have where you can hang from a bar. You've probably seen these at fairs, at malls, and usually what it is you can hang for 2 minutes. You could win at $100. Usually I think it's 100. In this case, it was at Lagoon, so the prize was not $100, but even better, one can argue, a gigantic octopus. I watched a couple people fail before me, hopped up there, 204, complete the hang, and then I learned the ultimate lesson, do that contest at the tail end of the day. That way, you don't have to lug a gigantic octopus through the park. I was smart enough to run it out to my car, so I'm not looking like a fool with an octopus, but yet and still, yeah. It inspired me to just talk about grip strength because I've seen a lot of studies on grip strength and the correlation between longevity and grip strength. So the few things I want to talk about today is how to build it, why there would be a correlation between grip strength and longevity, and things to watch out for as you train your grip strength. Number one, what we're going to do is talk about again, I've read multiple studies that talk about this, longevity, grip strength. Why? Why would that be? I don't believe that there's anything that like if you build your grip strength, you're just going to live longer. I don't think that squeezing hand grippers is it's not the fountain of youth. What it would be, it's more of a correlation between are you using your hands to do things in life? Those that don't do that probably are living an inactive life. So, imagine somebody who, goes about their day, they're carrying groceries, they're doing things, they're gardening. They're gonna have a stronger grip. So that means they're using their grip to interact with the environment. So that's number one. Are you using your hands to navigate through the environment? All right, guys, a point I wanna make with this when it comes to, specifically hanging from the bar. I believe the bar is a great indicator of your overall fitness, because the thing is, if you build certain attributes, let's say you're heavily into lifting, and let's say you use a lot of machines. So if you use a lot of machines, what's happening is you're building muscle tissue, but you're not actually using your hands to the degree that you should. So for instance, somebody who does deadlifts or farmer walks, or even a construction worker, somebody who does jiu-jitsu, somebody who, even let's say you play tennis, right? You're actually picking up a racket, you're swinging it, you're squeezing it. You're doing things with your hands that are actually connected to your environment. And so I believe it's a great indicator of your overall fitness, because, you're not gonna, if your body fat percentage is too high, even if you get strong, you're gonna fall off that bar. So on top of that, actually there's a little extra to this. If you get a bar and you hang from it, you're gonna decompress your spine. So build up that grip strength, build the ability to hang from a bar. Doesn't have to be 2 minutes, but if you do have a 2-minute hang, you're gonna be in the elite of the elite. In fact, actually, I had to look up the stat after doing this, because, in fact, actually my wife, speaking of stats, she said 100% of the time my husband talks about how strong he is on the bar. No, but actually the statistic, what percentage of people could hang from the bar for 2 minutes? Take a guess. It was 1%. 1% of the general population can hang from the bar for 2 minutes. Now, again, you look at I don't know what the obesity rate is. I think it's pretty high, but some people I don't know if can hang from the bar at all. So if you want just the poor man's test of your body fat percentage, and again, it's very rough, but you're probably gonna be doing well. But the higher your number shoots up on hanging from the bar, your bar hang, probably the better shape you're in. So get a bar, test your strength. It's great. All right, one of the first ways I want to talk about other tools other than the bar to build hand grip strength is going to be to use the Captain of Crush's hand grippers. Now, most of the hand grippers that you see, like the grandpa ones, the little squeak squeak, those are generally 20 pounds, 30. Every now and then you'll see one that's about 80 pounds. But this one, the Captain of Crush hand gripper number 1 that we got right here today, this is about 135 pounds. Okay. So you can see it's even the strongest ones you see, it's about 55 pounds stronger than those. Now the 1.5 is I think 165, and the 2 is about 200, 195. These are rough estimates, but now I took these to my work just recently, and there was one other guy that could close a 2. A lot of people felt the 1. The 1's kind of hit or miss. 1.5, just a few. So I've tested a lot of people, even people that like lift weights, you know, they're strong. And again, this is, you know, it's a specific kind of strength. So the easiest way to build hand grip strength is to get one of these bad boys, lug it around with you. Just do it randomly. You don't have to do these like, you know, like all the time, but just sit there and just, you know, knock out a set. Keep those hands strong, right? As you can see, you know, this is, you have to close it too. That's the main thing. People grab this and they go, I got it, but can you close it? That's the main thing. Can you close the hand gripper, right? So number 1, get some Captain of Crush, get some real deal ones. Throw out those grandpa ones. Those ain't gonna do nothing for you. Get some Captain of Crush. That's tool number 1. What I believe, other than hanging from the bar, grab them, you know, some hand grippers like I just showed you, what I believe is one of the most functional forms of exercise is farmer walks. It doesn't get much simpler than this. Is simply grab something and walk with it. Now you could farmer walk your groceries, right? I mean, you know, I personally will carry 20 bags of groceries if I don't have to take an extra trip to the car. Okay, I think, you know, a lot of dudes probably feel me on this one. So you can farmer walk in regular, you know, just your regular everyday life with whatever, you know, whatever you have to do. So farmer walks, but again, like kettlebell, good, you know, 55, 70 pound kettlebell, walk with it. Other ideas for this, take a plate and just squeeze it, right? You're doing that, you're working your grip strength in a different way. So lots of different ways to farmer walk. Farmer walk is gonna be the next exercise. Make sure you incorporate it into your routine. One idea for this too is after your routine, you get done working out, whatever you're doing, just simply spend 5 minutes, right? A few minutes walking back and forth, switching hands, you know. In fact, actually a little extra idea for this. Instead of farmer walking with two, you know, you could grab 2 hands and farmer walk, but if you just use 1, you actually put a little extra emphasis on the oblique because you got to kind of stabilize. So there's benefits to doing both 2 hand and 1 hand. So farmer walks, make sure you get them in your routine. Along with the farmer walk, we're going to talk about deadlifts. You should be, you know, picking things up off the ground. And I'll tell you this, when it comes to, when you actually need to get something done in life, you're gonna wish you had friends, right? As far as like moving, you know, moving things, when you have to move, you have to like, you know, do some kind of mechanical work, you're gonna want these friends that have this type of strength. And the way to build it is just simply to pick something up off the ground, right? If you need to move a couch, you know, you're gonna wanna have a guy that has that type of strength. You don't have to do barbell deadlifts. Again, this could be picking up sandbags. It could be picking up anything, but like literally like, you know, pick something up off the ground. Pick it up, okay? That's next point, deadlifts. All right, there's also all kinds of different ways and different devices you could do. You know, we talked about the hand grippers. Like I said, you could pick up the hand grippers, but other than that, there's also, I believe, what I got, these are called power tees. I've seen them though. I think the original power tees I got off the website Transformetrics. So shout out to those guys. I don't even think that website exists anymore, but I've seen these, I think, called like NeuroGrip from Dragon Door. So essentially, it's a very simple diabolical device. It's essentially a PVC pipe with a nail put through it. Okay. Now, based on how this, a lot of people can't even do these. They got to try to do these. They're very shaky. But this is just a different way to build your grip strength while you're doing other stuff, you know. I shot a whole video on push-ups, you know, that you could, you know, look at my, you know, click the link below to see those other ones. But there's different ways to incorporate other exercises you already do to increase your grip strength. So for instance, you know, I talked about pull-ups, you know, or hanging from the bar. You could hang from the bar with a wider bar. You could hang from a towel. You could hang from your fingertips. You can climb rope. Okay, so there's all kinds of things you could do to incorporate grip training with other forms of exercise. So, your imagination, is the limit, but, get devices like these, increase your grip strength while you're doing push-ups. Along with that, I want to talk about fingertip push-ups, because other than just a pure squeeze, each form of grip strength training is different. So, the ability to just purely just power and squeeze with all your might, that's one form of grip strength training. The ability to hang from a bar for prolonged periods of time, that's a different form. Fingertip push-ups. You want to strengthen, from different ranges of motion. Make sure, along with, push-ups like on that device, a free way to increase your strength is fingertip push-ups. So, make sure you do them right too. You don't want to get them all crunched up, kind of keep a nice little, I'll shoot a separate video to kind of really dive in the form, but basically, make sure you have nice strong fingers squeezing into the ground. So that's another thing you could do. You could also, you could actually just push your fingers together and push them in, do isometrics. You could connect your fingers, pull them apart. All kinds of different ways you can increase your strength for free or very low cost. All right, last point I want to make I could go on and on about grip strength training. It's a weird thing to nerd out on, but I can. But last thing to keep in mind is while you're doing grip strength training, there's things to watch out for, and I want to talk about that. One is to overtrain your grip in one direction. You should never overtrain any muscle. You should always have some sort of balance. Imbalance is what leads to injury, at least chronic injury. I actually ran into this myself while I was doing I was working on those hand grips I talked about, just doing it all day, every day. I noticed a lot of tension, like, you kind of like build up a lot of tension in like your tendons and ligaments. So it caused some issues. The way to balance that is to make sure you work the opposite muscles, right? One thing you could do, we've all seen these little bands you could do, right? So go online, you could see different kinds, because sometimes they're very weak, right? Just like I talked about the grandpa grippers that are like 20 pounds. Make sure you get some strong ones, because you want to get something that actually challenges the extensor muscles. So when you get these, just simply open them up. Now actually I'm going to give you a not necessarily free idea, but essentially free. Instead of actually going online and buying those, buy some broccoli, okay? Buy some broccoli. The broccoli usually has those big blue rubber bands on them. Those are very strong, make for good, to train that strength. On top of that, after you get done training, your forearms, you actually get to eat broccoli, right? Eat your broccoli. So that's one thing. Also, another idea for this, to train both directions of that grip strength, make a little gooseneck, squeeze, and extend out. Stretch it out, make sure you're training all directions. Another idea is make sure you're always rolling everything out, keeping everything loose, and stretching out the tendons and ligaments. So that's the last point I want to make in regards to this. Make sure you're training that squeezing muscle, but make sure just as important is the opening. You could actually take your hands, just practice opening, even without a rubber band. This is good, right? Especially, again, people that, you do a lot of computer work, you're gonna, people build up that, I believe it's carpal tunnel. We want to sit there and avoid that, train your grip strength, but train it in all sorts of ways. So those are the key points, guys. Building up hand strength is a good indicator of general fitness. Many ways to do it. Make sure you incorporate it into your life. That way, you could be like your boy. So.